Let's begin with the question today. What is the true currency of genomics or the bioeconomy? For years now, we have been told it's data. Gigabases, terabytes, petabytes. A sequencing race where the unit of progress was how many genomes one could pile up in freezer or cloud. The so-called data unit economy. But here's the challenge. Data by itself is not intuitive. Raw sequences don't whisper stories. They don't explain a child's rare disease, a farmer's crop resilience, or a community's hidden risk. Without context, data is like an uncut diamond. Valuable, yes, but unusable until shaped. This is where the economy must flip from data unit to insight unit. And that shift is not just technical, it's cultural. So, why the old model stalls? Today, analysis and interpretation is the bottleneck. Data is getting cheaper, but analysis remains expensive, centralized, and locked away with handful of big data specialists. Accessibility suffers, reanalysis is stifled, cost inflates. And 90% of the world, the underserved clinic, the local researcher, the student hungry to contribute, is excluded. The tragedy is that impact of genomics is capped not by how much data we can generate, but how few can actually interpret it. And let's look at frugality and democratization for a moment. Imagine flipping this model. Frugal, democratized analysis tools that put interpretation in the hands of many, not just the few. Suddenly, the bottleneck opens up. Insight isn't a privilege of big labs or Silicon Valley pipelines. It becomes a shared asset. From hyperlocal variant curation in small towns to global knowledge networks linking underserved population. This democratization means we no longer chase data mountains. We focus on small but sharp insights that matter. One well-curated variant, explained correctly, can save more lives than 100 terabytes of unanalyzed raw data, or as we call it, FASTQ files, logged in an HPC cluster or an expensive foreign cloud. Now, my favorite bit, the role of young genome analyst. And here's where the ground actually picks up momentum. One young genome analyst can become not only just a technologist, but a frontliner and a backbone of this insight unit economy. Every annotation genome analyst make, every local variant he curates, every clinical history that is aligned with a VCF are the building blocks of a new currency, a currency of context and care. It's inclusive because it lowers the barrier. It's frugal because it avoids the waste of redundant computation and bloated infrastructure. And it's impactful because it converts every byte into a story that the clinician, patient, and community can actually use and resonate. So here's the call out. The shift we are living through is simple but profound. From data that excludes to insight that include. From a bottleneck that rewards the few to a movement that empowers many. The question is no longer how much data we can generate, but how fast and how fairly we can turn that data into insight, and that too actionable one. That's the true revolution of genomics or our bioeconomy, and that's where the 90% underserved will finally find the seat at the table. If you have been, thank you very much. Please do send us your remarks and feedbacks. Until next time, take care.